Grace. I'm the crochet designer behind Stitchberry, and here on my channel I love sharing about my designing journey and my projects and designs and just other cozy things. So today it is a very cold, windy, snowy day. We got lots of snow yesterday, and I think it's kind of snowing right now too. And I thought today would be a really great day to kind of vlog a cozy winter day designing. I'm going to put a lot of focus into some of my designs today, so I thought it'd be fun to take you along for that. And of course, any great day of designing needs coffee. Yes, it is a really cold, snowy day, and I'm drinking iced coffee because that is what I was craving. I really wanted to go and get a vanilla iced latte. Don't think I'm gonna go out today. I might later this afternoon if I really want it, but we're just enjoying some iced coffee that I made here at home. So I thought I would show you the two designs that I'm currently working on. So the first one, I started this last week and I've made quite a bit of progress on the back panel. So this is going to be the Merit cardigan. Really pretty texture. It's super easy, and again, I started this last week and I've made a lot of progress on it. It is a DK weight cardigan, so it does take a little bit longer, and I am using a 4.0 millimeter crochet hook, so it would take a little bit longer, but considering I didn't work on it this past weekend, but yeah, it's been a really good mindless project. So if I can make some progress on this today, that would be really good. The other design that I'm going to show you, it's not even going to be released for months, but I just really want to work on it, even though this one I would still like to release. March is my goal, so I should work on this some more and get closer to finishing the back panel. Who knows if that's actually gonna happen, because again, I'm just really excited to work on this other design. So something I noticed this past Advent holiday season is that there really isn't that many, I don't want to say good crochet patterns, but crochet patterns that I would personally crochet if I had a yarn advent. If you're in the yarn space or follow lots of yarn dyers or crocheters or knitters on Instagram, you probably are familiar with yarn advent calendars. So every day in December, and again, they're all different. Some are 24 mini skeins, some are like a 12-day thing, some are the full 25 days, but the most typical one that I personally see is a 24 advent calendar, where every day in December leading up to Christmas you open up a mini skein. So I follow a lot of people that were doing yarn advents and opening theirs every day, which is so much fun to see. I personally have not done an advent yet. I would love to in the future, but I noticed this past year there's so many beautiful patterns for knitters, and really just in the mini skein space there just isn't that much for crocheters. And as a crochet designer, I want to fix that, because if you follow me or make my patterns, more than likely we have very similar styles, so we probably gravitate towards the same patterns. So then I know that I want to make something that my followers and the people that like my patterns would want to make, and even if they don't use my design for an advent necessarily, they can use it for using up scraps or just other mini skeins that they've collected throughout the years. So hopefully that all made sense. Basically, I'm designing a pattern that I'm specifically designing with mini skeins that will work for a 24-day fingering weight yarn advent calendar. I don't know when it will be released. I know it won't be released before September. I haven't decided, because again, it's not necessarily has to be an advent thing, so I don't know if I want to release it in November, kind of right before advent season, or if I want to release it in September or October just for other people. We shall see. So the yarn that I am using, also first of all, can we just talk about how cute this basket is? So a couple years ago, someone that I was following, she found a llama basket at a thrift store, and I immediately decided animal baskets are going to be my thing that I collect. Basically, they're going to become my new personality. That was several years ago, and one of the first places I go to in a thrift store is the baskets, just because I love baskets, and of course looking for animal baskets. After looking for several years, I found the cutest snail basket, and I was so excited. I finally got my first animal basket. Oh, and that was earlier this year. And then several months ago, my sister was at a thrift store, and she sent me a picture of this. She's like, because she knows that like I want to collect animal baskets, she was like, do you want this? I'm like, yes, of course I do. So makes me so happy. So I've been keeping all of the yarn for this project in here just because, I mean, come on, it's so cute. It's so cute. So the yarn that I'm going to be using for this project is oaken fiber. All of these she hand dyed. I'll put a picture in here of the whole fade of the mini skeins just because there's a lot. And I'm not gonna pull them all out, but she's having an oopsie sale, and it's been really challenging to find 24 mini skeins that are cohesive enough that they all go together really well in one project, but also different enough so that they're not all just like the same color. And so as soon as she announced that she was having an oopsie sale, I started talking to her about like, hey, do you have like 24 mini skeins from your oopsie sale that would work well for this design? And she was amazing, and she was like, yes, I do. She put together these 24 colors for me. I'm so excited, and I'll make sure to link her website down below. She has the most beautiful yarns, and I'm so excited. Like when I got this yarn, my jaw literally dropped. They're all so beautiful. So anyways, for this design, I am doing a shawl wrap. I think I'm going to call it like a blanket scarf, just because I want it to kind of just be something that you can wrap yourself around and be all warm and cozy. So that is the idea. I started this last night, and I'm still like have quite a bit of my first color to go. So originally I was going to do just one long rectangle, and then I was like, you know what, I like the idea of doing some type of like pointed end. So I ripped out kind of like my long thing that I was doing, and I started this. Then I was eventually, once I increased to a point, then I was going to like do no more increases and just like go across until it's time to decrease. But then when the more I was thinking about it, I was like, or do I want to keep increasing until I'm halfway and then start decreasing, so it's more of a triangle? Okay, I realized trying to describe those shapes was going to be very confusing, so I drew out the two shapes that I am thinking about. So the first one is I could keep increasing until I'm halfway, and then I just decrease, so it's a triangle. Or I increase until it's the width that I would like, and then keep going until it's time to decrease. I haven't decided yet which one I'm going to do. I'm probably going to show this on Instagram and ask and get their opinion, just because also I want it to be something that they would like. So haven't fully decided on the shape yet, but I'm just gonna keep chugging along and kind of experimenting to see if I like this or not. I'm really excited to get through this color, because then I can add in this gorgeous color. Literally so pretty. So that's kind of what I'm at. This is kind of what I'm working on. I would today obviously like to get through this color and then start on this color just to kind of see how it looks. So that is the plan for today. This is what we're working on. I might need to work on some other computer work today too. We'll see. I did do some this morning, and again, I'm kind of taking this more of a chill day and kind of just being cozy and working on designs. hours later. I'm now sitting down here in the living room and I have a cute little candle. Oh, there we go. Burning. I'm at the point where if I am at home, there must be a candle burning in whatever room I'm in. Like, I have to have a candle burning. So that is the current situation there. I got a huge candle for Christmas, like huge candle, really big candle, and I got it like a month ago. I'm already almost through it. Like, I burn that candle multiple times every day for like hours. So it's probably a candle that probably has like 80 to 100, maybe more hours of like burning time, and like I'm already through like 80% of the candle. So since it has been quite a bit later and I haven't really filmed much since the last time, I thought I would update you. So I've really only worked on the advent pattern just because it's like something new and it's just something that I've wanted to work on. So I was able to add in the next color. I was probably about like right here. I should have put in a stitch marker, but I didn't. That's okay. So I have made some progress on it. So pretty. I love the transition between the colors and I'm just so excited to add more colors into it. The more I crochet, the more I can decide what shape I want it to be. So let's check on Instagram to see, and I haven't checked on Instagram in quite a while to see where the poll is going, because you will have seen that I did put a poll on Instagram with the two shapes that I showed you earlier. So right now it looks like that top one is so far winning. It's really interesting doing polls on Instagram because the last time I checked, B, which is the triangle, was ahead, and now it is now switched to the other one is ahead. So I'm really just going to keep going on this with where it's at, and I might just increase to a point to see where I'm at. I might just add in the third color today and then stop because I really do want to work on the cardigan. I can't just hyperfixate on this one because I do need to get some progress on that other one done. I'm just going to sit here. I got, where's my hook? Here it is, it fell down. My dog is whining. So I'm just going to sit here and continue to make progress on this, and while I crochet on this, I thought I would talk a little bit more about my thought process, kind of just behind designing this advent pattern. So I originally really wanted to do a blanket just because I love blankets so much. Especially it would have more of like a scrappy blanket look to it because I was going to do like a square for each day, kind of like a granny square-esque pattern. So each day you would have your color to add in and then you would join it together kind of as you go. So then after your advent you'd have a blanket. But the more I thought about it and looking at the yarn that I have, I realized that it wouldn't be big enough for the size that I would want, because I would want a solid throw size blanket and it wasn't going to be big enough at all. It'd be like a baby blanket, which would be cute, but like I don't want to make a baby blanket. So then I thought about, well, I guess I could do like a square and then do as much as I can out of these colors and then add in like a main color, like a cream or some type of neutral. So then you're creating a larger square, so then you have a bigger blanket. Well, and I really contemplated doing that, which I still might do that in the future because I do want to design more projects specifically for mini skeins and advents. But I don't know, I didn't really want to have more yarn in the project outside of all of the mini skeins because I really wanted this to just use the 24 mini skeins. One, because I think that's just cool to just use your advent yarn, but two, yarn advents are expensive, so you would have to not only purchase a really expensive yarn advent, but you would also have to purchase several more skeins on top of that for the main color for the blanket. So again, I might do that in the future, but for this design I kind of just wanted to stick with this yarn. So then I decided I would call this a blanket scarf or like a blanket wrap or something with blanket in the name, because I intend to use up as much of the mini skeins as I can in the pattern, because I want it to be as big as possible so that it's the perfect blanket size, so that it's big enough that you can wear as a scarf, you can wrap it around yourself. I've loved the idea of creating some sort of traveling scarf so you can wear it like in the airport or something, but then when you're on the airplane you can just lay it out, you know, as a blanket, or you know, just traveling in the car, you have something that's big enough that it can be used as like a lapgan blanket in like a traveling situation, or like if you're working at your desk you can just wrap it around you, because I do that a lot with blankets and I want something that's a little bit smaller than, so I don't have like a whole blanket wrapped around me, but still something that is then small enough that it's really portable, so that if you are traveling, or again you don't have all of this bulky things around you if you're just sitting at your desk. So that's my thought process behind this design and why I did finally settle on doing some type of, I'm calling it a blanket scarf. Some people might say it's technically not a blanket scarf. I'm calling it a blanket scarf because I want to. So that was the first step in this design process. There were a lot of factors that went into me settling on this specific design, and I don't fully know what it's going to look like yet. So actually choosing to do a blanket scarf was the first factor. The second thing is it needed to be something easy enough so that if for people who are crocheting on it every day, they really just need to look at the pattern a couple times over the first few days, and then they know what they're doing and they can just run with it for the rest of the advent calendar, and they don't really have to look at the pattern and they don't really have to think. I want it to be simple enough and mindless enough that people would enjoy working on it every single day for almost an entire month. So that was factor number two. It had to be, or number one, I don't know. So that was another factor. It had to be simple enough and easy enough where there wasn't a whole bunch of changes throughout the entire pattern, so that you could just kind of mindlessly work on it every day and enjoy working on it every day. And factor number three is I had to make the yarn last as much as possible, meaning I really thought about including some baubles or puff stitches into the design, but those eat up so much yarn. So I decided not to, because again, I want to make this as big as possible. So I decided to not include any type of bauble or puff stitch, even though I think it would be really pretty. I just knew that those would eat up so much of the yarn, and I want to make this as big as possible. So that was the last main factor. So as a recap, I wanted to just use the 24 mini skeins and only the mini skeins, which meant it had to be a smaller project than a blanket. And two, it had to be simple enough that you kind of just know what you're doing every day, and it's a little bit more of a mindless, fun, comfort make. And then three, I had to use stitches that wouldn't eat up the yarn, and that would really make the yarn stretch and go a really long way. So that was kind of my thought process in what helped me land on this specific design. So yeah, hopefully that was interesting. That's kind of a thought into the design process. It really, every single design, they have their own challenges and their own struggles and their own thought processes, but that's just some things that I thought about when designing this pattern, and hopefully it's really evident for people who make it, just the intentionality that went into this design and all of the things that I thought through for this pattern, so that people who are either crocheting on it every single day for an Advent would love it and have fun with it, or for people who are just using up scrap yarn for this pattern, again, would love it. So yeah, I'm just going to keep working on this. Probably gonna find something to watch and just chill for a little bit longer while I work on this design. It is still very cold. I think it's gotten a little bit windier outside and still very cold. Okay, it is about an hour, a little bit more than an hour, I think, later. I've just been sitting here. I've been working on this. I've actually made quite a bit of progress on this, and I love this color. It's literally so pretty. Just realized there was that yarn there. So yes, I've just been sitting here working on this for the past hour, getting distracted with my phone, things like that. And let me see here, I was going to check the poll again, and it still says that the A, oh, this is a really awkward angle. There we go. A is still ahead. So it looks like that's the shape we're going with, which I'm okay with. I'm probably going to take a little bit of break. I need to get up. I need to like move around. I have some laundry I need to fold, and then I'm probably going to sit down and do some more computer work for a little bit before I finish this for the day. I'm actually pretty close to being done. Probably only going to be a couple more rows actually of this color before I change it to the third color. So probably I'm going to do a couple rows of the third color, and then I will work on the cardigan for the rest of the day. But first I'm just going to move up, do laundry, just so that I'm moving a little bit today, and then I need to water the plants too, and then do some computer work. Then I will get back to working on this, and then I'm going to work on the cardigan next.